I don't usually get into politics, but you know, it's getting to the point in this country that the gun laws are going to just get worse and worse. I think we all see the writing on the wall. And you know, maybe sometimes we don't appreciate what we have enough here in Alberta with the way things are going in the rest of Canada. You know, the provincial governments they're basically becoming our fallback position to protect us from the federal government. Back to language. Hello and welcome back to the Way to Native Chronicles. I'm going to have a little bit of a different subject today, although I don't get into a lot of politics. You know, we have a premier here in Alberta. Maybe he's not perfect, but I think he does reflect a genuine Albertan position, also on the subject of handguns, and I think we should support him, if for nothing else, at least for that. These are difficult times we're going through right now, and obviously the federal government would love to just distract us. They're coming up with this new bill, C-21 I think it's called, and it's a political trick to cover up, distract the public from their failures in regards to the failed rollout of vaccine for the COVID virus, right? So we know what they're up to. It's really political opportunism. I think that's probably the best way to look at it. Any way they can to score points, and all they need is the votes from the big cities in the east, and Ontario and Quebec. So basically, screw the rest of us. They don't need us. So, you know, if you like your guns, and you know what the value is of them. The thing that's in vogue now as the bad guy is handguns. I have an ATC to carry one. Trappers are allowed to if they're engaged in the profession, and but there's not nearly enough people that take advantage of it. There's only about 225 or so ATCs in Canada. Probably a lot of them are just in Alberta. But at least in Alberta, we're getting our own Chief Firearms Officer. I was halfway expecting to see that in this new bill, that they would do something to prevent the provinces from choosing their own CFO, which is a smart idea that the provinces do that, and I'm really glad that Kenny decided to avail himself of that opportunity, because it's so important. We have laws on the books that do permit the use of handguns. There's a legitimate use for them. A handgun is right on your hip. It's quick and available, right? Take a little bit of this rotten meat here. This is some beaver meat. Okay, let's push that guy down. Alberta may be the last hope for Canada as a place as an example of freedom. As a lot of people look to us, and I hope our Premier stands strong. A lot of this stuff is just about getting votes when it comes to politicians. So of course we know what the name of the game is. You got to get elected. But there's a lot of rural parts of Alberta that really do think otherwise than the urban centers, and the people who have no concept of what's going on. So they tend to keep the Conservatives in place, and I hope they still do. So all the power to you guys. But we've got to stay the course on this, and I think part of staying the course is supporting the Alberta government for us gun owners, as they're one of the few things that are standing between us and becoming like BC, right? BC is, if the Vancouver wants to pass a bylaw saying that you can't have handguns within your municipal limits, the provincial government's going to be only too happy to accommodate them on that, right? So they have no protection at all. It's a lost cause for them. So thankful to be in Alberta. Something special about this province, that we can still do what we do. Let's see here. There we go.
이때도 내가 캐고지 이게 다지